Child, honey, because y'all preyed on Brian McKnight's career, honey, and it seemed to have worked, honey. Yes, Brian McKnight update, honey. Brian thought that he was going to do an arena tour. He thought he was going to do a concert in the United States. I told y'all that he was on tour with Boyz II Men over in the UK, but he thought that he was going to come over here to the United of the States with the Niggerati and do shows. And the Negroes got together and canceled that. Honey, hopefully y'all come together and y'all finally cancel Vlad. Child. Honey. Jesus. Maybe y'all did cancel Vlad, and maybe the only people who do watch and support Vlad's channel are non-black hip-hop heads, rap fans. Maybe those are the people who do support him, because those are the people who be supporting him on Twitter. But anyway, Brian McKnight, child, you know he called his children demons and all that crazy foolishness, honey, and all that. So you have had celebrities, you know, reaching out to Brian McKnight's kids, I'm sure, because Brian McKnight has been in the industry for a while, honey. Well, Rickey Smiley decided to reach out to Brian McKnight's children publicly. Let's get into it. I haven't heard this yet.
Hey, good morning. We're going live. We're going live this morning. We just got off the air, and we had a real conversation. Gary did the tea in the Kahlua today and was talking about the whole Brian McKnight situation and his kids. Whatever. When I read that and I saw that and I saw it on Dr. Rashid Richie's show, he really put it in the proper context or whatever. When I saw that, I was absolutely stunned and horrified by watching that. I just want to say to Brian McKnight kids, to all of his kids, the ones that he said that's born out of evil or born in evil, whatever he said, whatever he claims, or whatever, let you know that you have a lot of support out here. We here at the Rickey Smiley Morning Show support you. If anybody get this message out to Brian McKnight, 2 sons and daughter, you are always welcome to the state of Alabama. To the great state of Alabama, where you have men and you have uncles and you have a lot of people in Birmingham that take on kids that have been abandoned by fathers. I've seen a lot of it, even with watching Little League football coaches that spend their own time, money, and resources into trying to make sure that the kids have everything they need. But I know that y'all are older. But if y'all ever feel any kind of way, or you feel unloved and need male figure, father figure, there's people out here like myself, and I know I can vouch for my brother from another mother, Ben Crump and others. We would be more than happy to have you. You are not thrown away. You are not garbage. You are loved. You are to be respected, and there's a lot of group of men out here waiting to stand with you and make sure you have everything that you need. We are not here to try to replace your father, which that can't be done, but we can be something to you to just make sure you go on into your adulthood and live your life and get you the help and therapy that you need so that you can move on, because words hurt. And stuff like this hurt a lot when, when things like this are said. It's a bell that cannot be unrung. So if anybody know Brian McKnight kids, sons and daughter, we really celebrate dads where I live. And in my household, we had over years and years and years have raised kids that don't have a dad, or dad got killed, or just, hey, I don't want to be a dad, or whatever. That's what we do. We are some of the best father figures and uncles and anything you need. So just to let y'all know, just put that out there. I'm not here to, we already tackled that part, talking about what he did, but I don't want to do that, talk about that and offering something to them in the same video. So we just want to say to the kids, stay prayed up, stay close to God, and understand that God is your real daddy. He's all of our real daddy. He's our daddy's daddy and our granddaddy's real daddy. We serve an awesome God that will see you through anything, and that will see that that you will supply all your needs. He's a heart fixer, and he's a mind regulator. And I know he's a mind regulator because it's been days where I feel like I was going crazy, and he get my mind right back on track. So just continue to love God and continue to trust God and lean on him for everything that you don't understand. And don't even try to understand. Just lean on him, get therapy, and just try to make sure that when you have your kids, that you are the total opposite of what you have experienced. That's the thing about me. I growing up, what up, Gwen? Good morning. I love you. Tell Sean I said, what's up? One thing that I've learned not having a father, I know how it feels not to have a father, but I also understand what having a grandfather who stepped up and an uncle and uncles and coaches, what it meant to me. And it didn't replace, but man, it gave me a level of restoration that's unreal. So anybody know Brian McKnight kids or where they live, get in touch with my management group and or anybody on my morning show. We would be more than happy to have y'all, to love on y'all, to let you know that there are men out there that would appreciate having kids like y'all. And then let me say this right here. I know it's a lot of sides to a lot of stories, but understand this right here. There's no perfect father. There's no perfect relationship between father and kids, and nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. I've made mistakes as a dad. I'm not up here pounding my chest like I've been the perfect dad. I did the best I could, and it was a learning experience because being a dad did not come with a handbook. It did not. I had to learn a lot of stuff, and time and patience and prayer and experience. So if y'all ever want to hang out with the Rickey Smiley Morning Show and just be around people and let some people just love on y'all from a man's perspective, the way y'all deserve to be loved, that's why we are here. So we're offering that to y'all. We apologize for everything that any kid is going through that's fatherless, any kid that's motherless. But that really hurt me to my heart to see that, and that there's a bad situation. So we just wanted to do that and offer that. And just like we are helping a lot of kids right now to this day that's fatherless and doing things all over the world.
I tried Bernice Jenkins, but I can't listen to the whole thing. Child, we have the option to mute people here. Rickey is sweet. Rickey is very sweet. Shout out to Rickey Smiley. It was very sweet gesture. But it very much gave me one of my uncles having one of them drawn out lectures, honey. And it's like, yeah, I'm here for you, honey, and da 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 da, and this and it's like, child, honey. But no, I think it was a sweet gesture from Rickey, and I did want y'all to hear a lot of it because knowing what I know about media and knowing that there's probably a lot of people who heard a snippet of what he said and reacted to it, and I wanted y'all to see, and I also wanted to see for myself exactly what all of what he said. But at this point, Miss Bernice Jenkins is repeating herself. Child, honey. But yeah, I get the impression that Rickey genuinely does love the kids, and not from a pedophilic standpoint, honey. I get the feeling that Rickey felt abandoned. I can't recall Rickey's life story at the moment, but I get the feeling that either, he grew up with a very stable father, or he grew up without a father at all. And either way, he goes hard. Rickey love the kids. I get that that's genuine, honey. Yeah, shout out to Rickey. It didn't necessarily have to be public, and use it in for all of the father figures and male figures who are open to stepping up to being father figures. We don't need that spiel. We don't need that spiel, honey. Me personally, I don't need any more father figures at the moment, honey. But growing up with my father being in and out of jail and rehab, I had uncles and I had a stepdad who stepped in. But of course, my father was always present. I always knew who he was, but he just wasn't always free and out of confinement. So yeah, my stepfather either. So I've always had strong male figures in my life. I come from a family that is full of single fathers. Well, not full of. I don't want my family to sound like that. But I come from a family there are more single fathers than single mothers. I come from the family where the men in my family, they're great fathers. I can't pinpoint right now exactly what it is that has made that happen, but they are, like, the men in my family. If they ever split up with their wives or girlfriends, the baby mamas, their children will prefer to be with them, with the father, and usually do ends up with the father, i.e. single fathers. Yes. But honey, that ain't how Tyrese responded. Honey, child, girl, Miss Girl.
I want to talk to my brother Rickey Smiley, and I want to say to you that it is unfair, in my grown man opinion, to say that that man and his ex-wife and the mother of his kids, which are now grown adults, past 30 years old, whatever their specific dynamic is, there's a bunch of things that have been said and done over the years that is nobody's business, that has contributed to where they are. This is not fair to say, well, they my kids, or they grown, they adults, and so I ain't gonna ever turn my back on my kids. I ain't gonna ever not provide or be there or support or do whatever. Man, kids out here be saying some fucked up shit, bruh. Kids out here be crossing you and doing and saying and going above and beyond to cross you. I do not know what that man and that woman or his kids or anything about anything. Like, I literally know Brian. I have not had one conversation with Brian McKnight about his wife, his kids, or anything that went down between them, nor is it my business, nor is it my place to ask him, what happened, man? What's going on? This and that. None of my business. What I am addressing and talking about is I feel like it is not fair to act as if relationships between men and their children that at some point become adults can't fall apart, can't become extremely volatile and toxic. Listen, man, I know dudes that are in jail or do whatever. Man, kids out here be saying some fucked up shit, bruh. Kids out here be crossing you and doing and saying and going above and beyond to cross you. What I am addressing and talking about is I feel like it is not fair. Fall apart, can't become extremely volatile and toxic. Listen, man, I know dudes that are in jail for getting in full-on fights with their kids who grow up, who think they can talk to them and treat them any kind of way, stealing money, flirting with their girl or their wife inappropriately while they're in new relationships, crossing the line, doing all kind of that can make the dynamic between you and your daughter or your son completely off limits. Let's go even further. And I know a thing or two. So consider me a professional in this department. I want you guys to Google these words that a lot of you guys have never heard of. All the therapists, all of the psychiatrists, especially all of the family law attorneys, please chime in. Parenting alienation. Google it. Enmeshment. When kids, young adults, or even grown folks are enmeshed and there is parenting alienation between the man trying to alienate the child or children from the mother, or the mother brainwashing, poisoning, or trying to brainwash and alienate the kids or the adults from the father. That is a real thing. When you are enmeshed, which again, you should Google it by definition, read it on the airwaves to educate people. When parents are enmeshed with their kids or teens or young adults or adults, they lose sight of the dynamic between being a parent and a child or children. They talk to them about everything. They go into all of the specifics and details about the cheating or infidelity or the physical, emotional, psychological abuse. They're going on and going into specific details with the child or children because they do not understand the line between being a specific parent. A father and a mother is not friends with a child. You can develop a friendship with your child or children, but that is not your friend. That is your son, that is your daughter. Not to ever have the roles or the dynamics of the roles to ever.
Child, we're gonna cut that fool too. Honey, he just making a whole bunch of excuses for his own existence as a poor father. Clearly, honey, he's trying to defend himself, but pretending to use Rickey and Brian as examples, honey, trying to, take it off his back, take the heat off his back a little bit. And in some ways, I think he's trying to shine the light on Brian as a deadbeat dad to distract from him. But, Lord, Tyrese, how many people got to tell you to shut the hell up? Honey? Tyrese Gibson, Black Ty, how many people got to tell you to shut the hell up? Your takes are never good takes, and we don't care, honey. It just makes people lose respect for you as a man and not appreciate your art as much. Honey, shut up. And his ex-wife is currently right now suing him for defamation, for lying on her and her child. The child must be in on the lawsuit or cooperating. Child, I want Tyrese to shut the fuck up. Lord, you didn't make a point. He repeated some of the stuff Brian said. He's just a fool. With all that talent. Here's how Nico responded. Brian's son Nico, honey. The child that everybody done put in the middle. The person who matters the most, honey. He basically said that Tyrese used to sleep under their pool table. Basically said that Tyrese used to sleep under their pool table when he was a kid. Honey, baby, y'all can read the whole statement, honey. The Billicas done hit me. I won't give y'all hooks on phonics tonight. Child, honey. Tyrese should have sat this one out, honey. And Bernice Jenkins, next time you have that conversation privately or publicly with a motherless or a fatherless child, as you put it, or orphan, honey, next time you have that conversation, leave out all the obvious parts. Leave out all the obvious parts. In fact, you don't even need the lecture. You don't even need the conversation. When you feel like you want to step in as a father figure or a mother figure for somebody and their child, just do it with actions. That advice is for everybody. Just do it with your actions. Instead of telling that child that you want to invite them somewhere, invite them somewhere. Instead of telling this child that you want to be in their life, be present. Keep up with what's going on with them and be involved in that. And if you have more time, if you have free time, if y'all have bigger fish to fry and time to fry it, honey, grease to fry the fish in, like I tell parents, help the child find something that they're good at and help them nurture that talent or skill that it takes to perfect that. Yes, honey, help the child find the gifts. Honey, we all have them. Yes. Honey, even y'all crazy people, even my other disabled and or crazy people, we still have our gifts too. Yeah. Yes, Tyrese is a fool. He messed up my whole energy after the Sokyana, y'all. But what do y'all think? How do y'all feel about Tyrese's response? How do y'all feel about Rickey Smiley jumping into the conversation at all? How do you feel about Tyrese's response? Let me know in the chat, in the comments. Can you ignore this? Are you able to, still respect and love Tyrese's art the same way you did before we got to know him as an influencer / content creator? Child, honey, pray on it.